Good morning. It's Paul Feuerstein, and I'm all dressed up today with my tie-dyed shirt. I wore my tie because we will be talking a little bit about fashion today. And I'd like to introduce a dear friend, Deborah Carrier, registered,
Hello.
registered dental, I can't even talk anymore, registered dental hygienist. In dentistry, we have dentists and assistants and hygienists and office staff, and many of them have other things that they do in their lives. And Deborah particularly is an amazing entrepreneur. She's done something unbelievable, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. She has started a company called Twice as Nice Uniforms. And to say she makes uniforms is an understatement. These are very special uniforms that we'll say. But rather than get into that right now, Deb is a passionate human being. And Deb, I'll let you take it from there. Why don't you tell us what happened to you, what you did?
Okay, so yes, as Dr. Feuerstein said, I'm a dental hygienist, and I started a uniform company 5 years ago. And when this whole crisis started about 4 weeks ago, I started looking at, how this was going to affect my company and what we could do. And most of our sales are done at dental trade shows. So I thought, well, those are going to be canceled for quite some time. So this is a good time for us to just look back at, other products we've been thinking about developing, et cetera. But the caretaker in me just couldn't sit still and do that. So I started getting a lot of calls from people. Do you make masks? How can you help us out? And so I called my factory and I said, can we make masks? And of course they were like, oh my gosh, you're always calling us with crazy stuff. And so they said, yes. We had to quickly go out and get parts to retrofit our machines. And so I decided to do a GoFundMe, and that allowed us to be able to donate masks to people who are not going to get them.
And let me interrupt by saying that if you go to her website, which we'll give later, there is a GoFundMe click there. And by the way, Deb, I have been on that for you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So what this was able to do, and thank you, everybody's been so generous with it. We've been able to give masks to police departments, food bank workers, hospice workers, people who are not going to be able to get, the medical grade mask, people that were working with critically ill patients that were compromised and couldn't leave their homes. So that's how it started. And like I said, we've been able to donate thousands of masks, and we've had some amazing stories that just make you cry. And then what happened is people started saying, well, can I buy these? And so on a whim, on a Saturday night, I'm scrolling through Facebook, and I thought, well, I'll just tell them people we have them on our website. And then it just exploded. So we're in the mask business now. And then from there, being the problem solver I am, as I was getting more phone calls about, can you get us surgical gowns? Can you get us shoe covers? All that good stuff. So yes, we are developing everything. The beauty is,
head covers,
yes,
I've seen.
yes,
Yeah.
we already have the surgical caps, and the beauty is we're made in America, and you just can't get stuff right now. I mean, it's even hard just to get the raw materials, but we were very lucky to have a lot of that already in the factory. So like I said, we're developing things as quickly as we can to be able to help everybody out with all their PPEs.
There's a wonderful video. If you go to the GoFundMe page, it's just a wonderful video, and you can see the passion. And I'm not going to make you cry right now, but it's just Deb's such a great person. And even before this, I mean, there was something wonderful about your presence, and when you come into the dental meetings and you have the fashion shows, and you've done a lot of fun things and with the company. So thank you. Let's start with that. So going beyond, let's talk quickly about dental shows. I am actually scheduled to speak at one now on August 1st.
Oh gosh.
Or the north of Minnesota, and they already moved it once, and I'm just wondering what's going to happen. And then the big shows, we have the California show in San Francisco, and then the ADA is sneaking up on it, and then Radio New York just today stated that we're all set to go.
Yeah, I got that email this morning.
And I'm just wondering if I want to walk into the Javits Center right now.
I know.
So I mean, it's going to be a big change in that. So you're going to have to rethink about how things will work. But I think this is obviously. This is not a publicity thing, but it's certainly something that's going to be helpful down the road. So the uniforms themselves are really interesting. You're a practicing hygienist, and as we all know, we put on scrubs, we put on coats, and we sweat and we get cold, and What did you do? What did you do?
So the number one conflict in the dental office between the employees is the thermostat. And for anybody that works in a dental office, you know that. And typically the people that work in the back with all their PPEs on are burning up, and then the people that work in the front are freezing. And so I literally just walked out of work one day 5 years ago and thought, I spent way too much time battling the thermostat today. What can I do about this? And that's how my company was born. And very long story short, I developed and patented an idea for temperature regulating uniforms. And the way it works is there's a liner in my uniforms that has the technology in the fabric to either cool you off if you're hot or warm you up if you're cold. It's also antimicrobial and moisture wicking. And then from there, when I realized I was going into the uniform business, which I had not planned on doing, I just decided I was going to change everything that I didn't like about uniforms, which really boiled down to absolutely everything. I didn't like the fabrics they were made out of. I didn't like the fit. I'm a big proponent of dressing professionally and how that does affect not only the way you feel and your staff feels, but how your patients perceive you. And so I just made them out of nicer fabrics, made them more fitted, more stylish. You know, they last forever and they're temperature regulating and comfortable. And now the antimicrobial part's really coming into play. That's very important for a lot of people. And so the other thing I learned on my journey is there wasn't a uniform company that thought about our needs in dentistry. So obviously anybody that wears a uniform could be a patient or a customer of mine, but I really kind of just went back to my people and started taking care of my people. And like my jacket that I call my dental jacket, it adheres to all our infection control protocols. And then it also has openings in the shoulder to put our loops and headset cords down inside. So I just tried to think of all of our needs in dentistry.
Yeah, it's not just like going to the scrub store online and getting scrubs. These actually have they understand, and there's a little bit of give to them. I don't know if it's a stretchy fabric or what, but
yes.
you move around like this and this, which the weird directions that we run into. So, and they're quite good looking, and they just fall nicely. They're not crumply looking.
Thank you. It took me almost a year to find that fabric because I wanted something that draped really well, lasted a long time, and people told me it didn't exist, but it does, and things don't adhere to it, so it doesn't really stain, doesn't wrinkle.
And now you have something new and amazing to me. It's this now. Here we go into my high tech world. What's coming up right now? This is this very cool thing that you're doing right now.
Yeah, so we had a jacket we launched right before this whole COVID crisis started. So it's kind of taken a back burner a little bit at the moment, but we came up with a new jacket. I worked with a dentist, Dr. Quan Watson out of Kentucky, and he's in the mobile dentistry space. And he was really in the need of a jacket that had radiation protection in it. So we developed together a jacket that has radiation protection in it. From the outside, it looks just like all my other lab coats. It's very lightweight. You don't even know that you have this protection on. And it actually has turned out to be an ergonomic jacket as well, because the way we did it is we brought the weighted fabric over your shoulder. And so it makes you sit up straight, which is what we all need. So anyway, we're very excited about that. You can see it on my website. We're taking pre-orders right now. And if you take advantage of that, you'll get the introductory price that I can almost assure you that price is not going to last because
that's expensive to make those.
Yes, it's very expensive to make and it's gotten very popular. So we're very excited about it. And with the things that are happening right now, teledentistry is becoming a much bigger part of all our lives. And that's a perfect jacket for that as well. And it's not a jacket that everybody needs to buy one, but you could look at it more as a piece of equipment where you could have a couple in the office and that would be,
Well, I mean, one of the issues is, I shouldn't say issues, one of the realities of the world and life is that female employees and dentists become pregnant.
Yes.
And what better protection than something like that?
Right. Absolutely. And one of the things that was pointed out to me, and I know this is what I do, 20 years ago, let's say we would take one PA of a tooth because it was time consuming and it costs a lot more money. And now with digital x-rays, even though we're getting less radiation, we're still getting radiations of cumulative, but instead of taking one x-ray, we would take 6. So now we're back in the same position that we're still getting a lot of cumulative radiation.
No, this is just great stuff. And you know, I'd like to have you walk around and do a little fashion show, but rather than that, I think we'll have to stick to the website right now. So the website is, well, actually, what is the actual website itself?
It's
We'll post it.
twiceasniceuniforms.com.
twiceasniceuniforms.com. And when you go on the site, right at the very top, there's a bar about the GoFundMe, and there's some other information, and the masks are on there.
Yes.
And all the other uniform things are in there. And we still need uniforms anyway, and they're very, very easily washable too. And as the CDC has been saying, you can, you know, if you just wash it, even with detergent, you're going to kill this virus.
Yes.
So, and they stand up pretty well. I mean, I have to say.
And I'm in the process of adding reusable surgical gowns and foot covers, and we already have our surgical caps, and so I'm trying to stay on top of it and get all our needs taken care of.
Well, the best I can do is to say thank you for everything that you've been doing. You've made
you
look better, feel better, and now you're making a lot more people very safe. So again, twiceasniceuniforms.com. It's Deborah Carrier. Can they get in touch with you directly if anybody needs you? Can they go through the website?
Yes, on the website there's an 800 number. It's also info@twiceasniceuniforms, and I check that daily, so you can get straight to me.
So that's great, Deb. Well, thanks so much for spending some time with me, and
Thank you.
good luck. And I want to see this thing. I just want to see everybody benefiting from this whole thing. And thank you so much.
Thank you.